And we are live. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to the after hours chat where we're just going to hang out. We can talk about the readathon, we can talk about our books, we can talk about not bookish things, whatever you want to talk about. We can just chit chat. Before going live, we were actually talking about golf and Stephanie's trip to Scotland and learning lots of cool things, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, if you wanted to continue what you were saying about how
Sure. Yeah, I can totally talk
started
about that. So, this was, I think, 2 years ago. It was any of you who know golf. We went over to Scotland to St. Andrews for the Open Championship. And it was 150th anniversary. It was at St. Andrews, which those of you who don't know golf is like the OG golf course. This is like the home of golf, right? It's where like Tom Morris and all those people played. And so we went to that, and we were mostly talking about it because of the train situation at that time. So we were trying to come back from the Open Championship, and they had canceled like 2 trains that were supposed to come after us, I think it was. So we were essentially catching like the last train of the night, and it was so like busy on the platform. We got there, I think, an hour before the train was supposed to arrive, and there were already a ton of people there, but they were all sitting. And so what we decided to do is we just stood on the line, like that yellow line that's like you have to stand behind here. So we, like, stood there for an hour.
Oh my gosh.
As we were there, like people were just piling in behind us. By the time the train got there, like the entire platforms were full. The whole train station was full. Like we were at the front, luckily, but that's because we stood for like an hour plus.
Wow.
So other people were like sitting or going and getting food or all these things. And we're just like, nope, we're just going to stand here. So when it got there, we just like got shoved in, and we actually got seats, but like no one got seats pretty much. Like it was us and like a couple other people, and it was so packed. Like you couldn't move, you couldn't do any, like it was so packed, and not everyone got on. I don't know what happened to people like who couldn't get on. Were they like just stuck in St. Andrews? I have no idea.
My gosh. I guess they would have to get some other form of transportation if they.
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm pretty sure that there weren't any trains that came after us, or if there was, it was like a long time to wait or something. And I don't know if it got canceled or not. Like something's telling me like the next train got canceled.
Yeah, they might have had to like do some form of Uber or something. Xander and I almost had a situation like that. It wasn't a train, but a bus. When we were in Austria. So
I'm going to Austria. Sorry.
we went to Austria already. And after we did all the stuff in Italy, we went to Austria, and we went to this one place, and we were going to go sledding, and it was far from where we were staying. It was like an hour bus ride up a mountain, up to the tippy top of a snowy mountain. And it was like, I think the highest mountain in Austria. And we go, we do all the things, and we were like, we had some issues. Like I lost my phone on the mountain. To look for it. We had gone down. We were trying to find where we go sledding, and we go down this long thing, and we haven't had to stop a couple of times because Snicker had on socks and boots.
Oh, that is adorable.
That is really cute.
I wanted to protect his paws because it wasn't like powdery snow up there at this time of year. It's like icy snow, and it can cut their paws. And it was also really freaking cold. And so he had on those, and they kept like one would come loose or something, and I'd have to adjust it. And so I would stop and fix his boot. And one of the times I did, my phone came out of my pocket and I didn't realize it. And we continued on for a long time. And we got down to this thing where I thought we were supposed to go for the sledding, this cable car thing. And I went to get my phone to translate because they don't speak English. And I was like, where's my phone? And so we had to backtrack this long way going, where did we leave the phone? Where did I leave it? And found it laying on the ground. And And then we had to go all the way back just to find out that that was not the place. And we had to go all the way back to where we just found my phone. And then we had to hike up this mountain. And we're hiking up this mountain. We got like, I don't know, a third to a halfway up this mountain when the lady that worked at the sled place at the top of the mountain, because you have to walk up that, she drives down. And it was 20 minutes before they closed. And so we're like, well, crap, we don't get to go sledding. And at this point, we're like, well, we had come across this igloo hotel. Like literally, they're igloos.
That would be fun.
It was cool.
Mhm.
But there was like a hotel and bar that was all igloo. And so we decided to go back to that and have some hot chocolate. And apparently, while we were having our hot chocolate, we missed the next to the last bus that took us back.
No.
And so we're like, okay, well, there's one more bus, but it was an hour wait between these buses. So by the time that bus came, we were really glad when it came. There was nobody on the slopes at all. Like everything was closed. Everybody was gone. We're just sitting on the side of the road, freezing, waiting for this. And we're like, please make sure we got to catch this bus. Sandra's like, can we go get a snack? I'm like, no. If the bus comes early, whatever, we can't miss this bus because the next one wasn't going to be until like 10 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, we can't be stuck at the top of this snowy mountain with nowhere. No.
I'm going to Austria this year in this August. I'm so excited.
Awesome.
Really
Where are you
exciting.
going?
We are going to Vienna for the Taylor Swift concert.
Awesome.
Wow, that's a long way to go.
I know, I'm so excited. Well, okay. I can tell you why we chose Vienna because so many people are like, that's random. And it is. Like, fair enough, it is random. But my husband speaks fluent German, and you have to like make accounts in order to apply to be a verified fan. And so I was like, okay, he speaks it well enough that he can like go through and like read through the terms and conditions, make sure he's like doing all the things he needs to do, right? Which like no other language can I do that in but English, let's be honest. Like even though I speak another language, like I could not do that. And so he made an account for us and he got verified fan. And so he was able to get tickets. And we've been wanting to go to Austria anyways, because we went to Germany a couple years ago. But yeah, so
I tried to figure out how to get tickets to anywhere in the Europe tour.
Hard. And
I could not for the life of me. Like everything I looked at was just either sold out or I didn't know how to get into it.
It's so hard. And that's why I chose this one because I was like, he can speak the language. If he gets like messages, alerts, or anything like that, he knows what it's saying, right? Like he can go through and do it. And he ended up getting VIP tickets even. He's like, yeah, here we go. I'm like, I am so excited. Like I'm going to make an outfit. Like it's going to be so much fun.
That's awesome.
When is it?
It's in August.
Oh, that's what you said, right?
Because I considered doing like London, right? I wanted to do somewhere in Europe, but I was like, I've already been to London, so.
Yeah, I looked at one. I want to say it was like in Edinburgh. I was going to try to do the Edinburgh one, but I could not for the life of me figure it out.
It's hard. He actually had to like use the address of one of his friends in Germany to make the account. And I don't feel bad about using it because they weren't going to make an account and try to get him anyway. So it's not like we were doubling up. So that's how I justified it. I was like, it's fine. We can do it because they aren't going to be.
That's what friends are for, right?
By the way.
Good morning. It's nighttime for me, actually.
You're over in Europe.
I've gotten my exercise for the day pretty much every day. The place, oh my goodness, the place that we're staying right now, I'm so scared for tomorrow when it's time to bring down our luggage.
Is it hard?
4 flights of stairs.
Oh.
And we have lots of heavy bags.
Oh.
Lots of heavy bags and 4 flights of stairs. And I'm going up and down these stairs over and over again all day because I have to take Snicker out or we're going to do something or whatever. I'm going to get food and up and down and up and down and up. The last place we had to do 2 flights of stairs, but those stairs were like horrendous. They were like they were only like this wide, so only the top, like the front half of your foot could fit on the stairs, and then it curved around a corner. poor Snicker was like belly crawling.
That's how ours was in Switzerland. It was like the most bizarre staircase. I mean, it was a beautiful Airbnb, but yeah, it was kind of odd like that too. The stairs were hard.
Yeah, the stairs. I'm not looking forward to trying to bring. It's easier bringing the bags up the stairs. Well, actually, Xander carried a lot of the bags up these stairs, but
Yay, Xander!
In the other place, it was easier carrying the bags up the stairs than it was down the stairs. The last place, the way we did it, because those stairs were so freaky and we were like scared that the bags were going to pull us down the stairs. I went first. Hold on, let me get in position. Oh, my everything hurts. Probably for things like this. So I got like this and the bag was sitting like wheels.
Oh my gosh.
So I had like one wheel on each side. And I was going down bent over with the suitcase on my back while Xander was holding the handle and holding up some of the weight because we couldn't boom, boom, boom down the stairs. Yeah, I was like bent over like this the whole way going down the stairs with a big 50-pound suitcase on my back.
I don't know how you survived that.
Me either. And I had to do it over and over again.
It's a good adventure.
And one of the suitcases has Snickers' giant bag of dog food. Okay, just to give an idea of how heavy.
Oh, I wouldn't even have thought of the fact that you had to bring dog food with you.
Yeah, there's a whole suitcase that's just Snicker.
That makes sense, though. I mean,
yeah. And his was like 35 pounds of just dog food. Granted, that suitcase is getting a little bit lighter as we go. He's eating the food.
That's true. It's like when you go on a backpacking trip and your water gets lighter and lighter as you go.
Yep.
But yeah, I've definitely been getting my exercise, and we pretty much walk everywhere.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, though, Xander and I are both gaining weight. And not just
eating so much good food.
Yes, not just Xander was like, yeah, my he said he's starting to notice a little extra on the tummy area. I mean, he's a little skinny thing anyway.
I saw him in the background before.
So you any little extra weight you would notice, but he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to like not eat so much when we get home. It'll go away quick on him. Me, on the other hand, it's a little harder.
It's like comes and stays.
Yeah, and I have this raincoat that it also works as a windbreaker, and it's been great for layering and stuff. But it has snaps to snap it closed. And initially, when I first got it, there was room. And now, if I move just a little bit, the snaps come popping up. I'm like, my raincoat keeps telling me that I've gained weight.
Like, it's not subtle about it either.
It's not. It's just like I bend over and pat, pat, pat.
That's just rude.
Like, that's not fun.
Oh my gosh.
Because that is the nice part about Europe is just the walking everywhere. You know, just because it's just part of the culture too, and everything is walkable.
Oh, you know? I loved walking everywhere in Europe. It was so much fun.
Yeah, me too. Oh, made me want to live where I could easily.
I honestly would love to go live in London for a while. Like,
me too.
There are bakeries, tea shops, bookstores, cute little street. Like, you could just walk around all day there and just feel good. I don't know. Like, I would love it.
And I love the public transportation there. Like, I loved it. I used it so much when I was there. Just everything was great. I loved
that is one of the best things is that you can easily get from place to place to place here with all the public transportation. It makes it, so easy. Like, we have had no issues at all really going from all the different places we've been so far. And all that travel, I'm pretty much booking almost last minute, maybe just a few days ahead. And with the exception of
this one,
the one I have coming tomorrow, everything's been pretty cheap. The ones we did for tomorrow, we got round trip, and it's just expensive. going from here to Chesterfield in the UK, or just going to the UK, freaking expensive. Just the Eurostar portion that is Brussels to London round trip was like 600 and something euro.
No.
Yes.
That's more than a plane ticket.
Granted, that's for two people, but yeah.
That's insanely expensive.
Yeah.
And they brag about their public transportation, and it's not even affordable.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
That was a hard one to swallow. Yeah, so I had to buy those and the other railway. So in US, our Eurostar ticket from Brussels to London and London back to Brussels was $688.34. And to go from London to Chesterfield and back to London was another $243.92. So over $900 US to do from Brussels to Chesterfield round trip. But part of that is because we're doing it on Easter Sunday.
That's true. That's fair. But I mean, that's just so expensive. I don't know why. I just because when I lived in Thailand, the trains were not expensive. Like you could take
Thailand is so incredibly cheap and it's fantastic.
I love it. If you ever want to go to Thailand and you want to talk to someone who is obsessed with Thailand, you can come talk to me. But yeah, and so we take the trains all the time. So we take like night trains because they'd be sleeper trains, right? Mm-hmm. So you'd sleep through the night until you get there, and then you'd be there and you could get up and like go. And so we go from like Bangkok to Nong Khai. Like I did that one several times into Udon, and those ones were quite a ways up. And even Lampang.
Thailand's awesome as far as like the cost of everything.
Like flying there is so expensive, but once you get there, if you don't go to like the really expensive resorts, it is so cheap.
Mm-hmm. So when we did our world tour back in 2016, Thailand was one of the places we went because we've hosted exchange students from Thailand. And so we actually had two different exchange students from Thailand. The first one, it was a girl. Her name was Pearl. And we still like communicate with Pearl all the time. But so we flew there, and her family were waiting at the airport, and they picked us up, and they kept us up all day. They're like taking us all the things and showing us all the stuff. And they're like, we're going to keep you up and we're going to help you. Xander didn't make it. He was like sleeping at dinner. But yeah, they kept us up, and then they took us back to our Airbnb that we had booked. And they're like, okay, we'll be here in the morning to pick you up at this time and pack your bags. We're leaving. They booked us. We went on a family trip with them to Krabi, Thailand.
Fun.
Like tropical paradise.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And so we're like, and they went ahead and they booked everything. So like the whole hotel, like Airbnb that I had booked, we only stayed one night and gave it up. And they took us to this incredible resort in Krabi, and we had a driver. They took us around and showed us all the stuff, and we went on a boat and checked out all the different islands. And then we went back to Bangkok, and they showed us all around there. And then we met with Net, who was our second Thai exchange student, and his family, and he had actually just stayed with us that year, so he had just gone back home.
Oh yeah.
And so it had literally been like a week since he saw us last. And so his family took us around for the day, and we went out to dinner with them. And then that night we took Pearl and we went and saw Britney Spears in Bangkok.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift was supposed to come to Bangkok while I was actually there. It was on her Red tour. And she's only canceled, I think, like 2 concerts ever. And this was one that she ended up canceling because of the coup that happened where the military took over the government. And so she canceled it. And it was crazy because they were so excited for her to come. Like, think of the hype for the Eras Tour now. But like that's kind of how it was back then. Like they made ice creams with her like red and her face on it, and they were so excited for her to come. So I felt really bad that she ended up canceling. Like, I mean, I get it. I like you want to be safe and you want to keep your crew and everything safe too, but they were very disappointed.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to Thailand March 2020. Had everything
Oh,
planned. Everything planned. We were going the very beginning of March 2020. Let me tell you how that went.
I know exactly how that went because I had a trip planned in 2020. I had the tickets bought and everything.
Yep.
Me too. I had a trip planned from May 2020. I think we
Mine
had
was
one
in
for July
May.
and one for May, and so we ended up having to cancel both.
Yeah.
It was a bummer.
It was a big bummer.
So Thailand will happen at some point. Just
It's amazing.
Pretty much.
So good.
I'm so excited about that. Yeah.
Oh, it's funny because before going to Thailand, okay, I was not one to eat spicy at all, or a lot of Asian food for that matter. And my daughter was all like, wanting the spicy food and the Asian food and all that stuff. And then we go there, okay?
Be careful.
After like 2 or 3 days, she's like, I need American food. I need American food.
Spicy.
And I was like, I was totally in it. And
you could ask them for no spice. I ask them for no spice, and then it's moderately spicy sometimes. Like, I mean, I'll say like I want just a tiny bit, and then I think it's like the right because I don't.
Oh, Pearl's dad had the best time killing me with the spices because he didn't get the regular spice kind of things.
See,
and
that's one thing I'm worried about. Because my stomach, like I like spice, but my stomach can't handle it anymore. So I'm like,
you can say no. It's actually really easy to do. I feel like people just feel like they can't, but I would do it all the time when I was over there because again, I was like, I never got diarrhea and I was over there for a year and a half, which I ate the street food. I ate all this stuff. And so I would just ask, and like, I could eat the spicy. I could tolerate it. I didn't.
And not all the food is spicy.
No, like, Pad Thai usually is not going to be spicy. If you get somtam, you really want to make sure that you don't get spicy on that because it can get really, really, really spicy. But like some of them don't. I think like, there's a ton that like, and you can just say like, no spice, please. And
they understand. The whiter you are, the more they understand. No
it's a very white stomach.
Or like I can teach you how to say it in Thai if you want to, but like you might forget by the time you go.
It's funny. I actually have notes on my phone from when we went to Thailand, and that she taught me certain phrases and things in Thai. See if I can find that note. It's kind of continued on my little app here from one place to another. It's usually way down in my list, but
why were you there, Stephanie?
I went on a church mission there. It's back when I used to go to church
for a year and a half. Wow, that was cool.
And I taught
That's
English.
a long mission.
Okay. Yeah, that is a
really long mission.
Yep.
Year and a half.
Really was. I mean, like it was good because like I got to learn the language and kind of get really into the culture and all that stuff because like I lived there. Like I wasn't visiting. So
was that your first time like traveling outside of the US?
I had been to Canada and Mexico before that.
Okay.
But Mexico and Canada were like just pretty much barely over the border. So
what were you doing while you were over there? Like what was your mission? Like what were you doing? Building houses or?
No, like I did a lot of church stuff, like church related stuff, and I taught English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So these are the phrases that I learned. I've got thank you, hello, you're welcome, goodbye, how are you? I love you. Yes, no, good, no good. I'm doing good. I'm doing not good. Yummy, very, less, feel better.
That's good. That's actually a good chunk.
Yeah, that is.
It was enough to, say pretty much what I needed to say.
And they love when you try. Like, I feel like Thailand is so different than a lot of the European countries where they kind of judge you a bit more on your language skills. Whereas if you even try in Thailand, they love it. They just think it's so sweet of you. Like, oh, you're so awesome. Like, here, you know, like, and they're just like, they're happier and they're more welcoming of like you being there.
They are so, like, everybody we met there were such happy people.
Yeah. You guys should go back and just live over there.
I'm bummed. I still haven't gone.
Marty, he would not be okay there. Like, he was dying. He was dying there because it's so hot.
It does get very hot during the hot season, yeah.
And he's like, he's a winter person. He likes the winter. He likes the cold. He hates the hot. Ooh. And so Thailand was just not a place for him.
I feel like I don't get too hot. Like, even if it's over 100 degrees, I can go outside and do pretty much anything. Like, I like the hot.
I don't mind the hot. I hate the cold. Like the really, really cold. You know, it's funny. I wasn't cold in Austria, but I've been cold in Amsterdam. Like, it was way colder in Amsterdam than it was on top of the snowy mountain in Austria.
Was there more moisture in the air in Amsterdam, though? Because that makes a big difference. Yeah.
That's rainy. A lot of it for the heat in Thailand, too, is that it's so moist that it just, it's harder to breathe. It's almost like the heat is suffocating you. Yeah. And you walk outside and you're like, why did I take a shower?
Yeah, I stopped trying to do anything with my hair because it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
I think I straightened it once when I was over there. It was for like a special occasion. There, I was like participating in some sort of like show. I seriously like could not leave indoors. Like, I went from like my house to the like building and stayed inside the air conditioning. And then as soon as I went outside, it was just like,
yeah, like all that forget makeup. It just melts.
No makeup. I actually didn't. Okay, and this is gonna be terrible. Like, this is not me endorsing this. But I didn't wear sunscreen when I was over there, like the entire time, and I never burned.
Really?
Yeah.
I did a little.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. Like, because I wear sunscreen here. Like, I live in Utah, and if I don't wear it here, I burn like that. I look at my skin. I'm white. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, y'all understand. I feel like I wore it at the beginning because I thought I would need to, and then I stopped and I never burned.
Huh. I wonder why that is.
I don't know. It was so bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, I have noticed that too with like the Caribbean. It's like I can go out in the Caribbean and not burn and forget to wear sunblock or whatever, and then I can go to Florida and burn.
Dude, I burnt so bad in Scotland. Scotland is one of my worst sunburns I have ever had.
Oof.
I got sunburned in Austria.
I did get sunburned on my cruise to Alaska too. So something about that. What is it? Longitude?
Yeah, like there's got to be a reason for it. Like, there's got to be something.
You're not when you're going out in the snow and the cold and the whatever, you're not thinking about the sun still. Oh, but when you're on like a snowy mountain, it's a lot like being out on water because the sun's reflecting off the water, so it's hitting you from both sides. It's the same with this icy snow. And I think so. I ended up with like sunburned face and sunburned scalp the first day we went like up the mountain.
And I think a lot of times we don't think about needing the sunscreen in places like that. So that also makes a...
Well, I put sunscreen so you can see it. And it doesn't look as red as it actually is in this picture, but look at those lines. And I kind of actually figured out what happened. I got a sunscreen off of Amazon and it then like I burnt really bad like that, which is weird, right? And then I got a message from Amazon like a couple months later saying like, hey, this was a fake sunscreen. Like someone sold it to you and it wasn't real. And I'm like,
ew.
Oh my gosh. Like I had like these burnt, like had it on my leg. Like it was except my face because I used face sunscreen for my face, which so lucky, right? But I was like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? It was ouch. And then I looked like an
Yeah.
idiot for the remainder of my trip because that was like the first place we went. And then I had these like tiger stripes all over for the rest of my entire
Oh,
trip.
that's
I was so sorry.
terrible.
Yeah,
Now,
that's so
fortunately, my
weird.
sunburn wasn't too bad. It was just like a day of my skin feeling really tight and my scalp was a little tender, but it wasn't like
Mine was a
terrible.
mess.
So they just sent you an email saying, "Hey, sorry, it was
And then
fake.
they
Nothing
refunded
else."
me.
Okay.
They
They what?
refunded me, but I'm like,
Yeah.
thanks. Can you pay for like my melanoma or something when I get
Yeah.
this jab?
The
Because
hospital bills.
right? Because
Seriously.
it was a solid sunburn. Like it lasted my entire trip. It took forever.
Oh.
And I actually still can see the lines of it, especially when I get a little bit of a tan. You can see the lines come back.
Mhm.
Makes me so mad.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is crazy.
It's so bad.
And how
That's
long
horrible.
ago was that?
How was what? How long what?
How long ago was that?
That was in 2022.
And you can still
Wow.
see the lines from it.
Mhm.
That's wow.
Yeah, it was solid. And you can see my face too. Like you can't see it as well in this, but like I have like hyperpigmentation on my face too, because I did use that a different day. Because I didn't know it was the sunscreen. Right. Because like it was supposed to be, anyways, long story. Like I ended up using it on my face for a different trip.
Mhm.
And it got my face so sunburnt. And so now I have hyperpigmentation on my face too.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
At least that one was more like uniform. It didn't like have the weird stripes.
Why was it having weird stripes? Was it just
I
the way
have
it...
no idea what happened with the stripes. My husband and I have like talked about it. We're like, we do not know how the stripes happened. Like, because I was wearing just like kind of like it was a dress, but it had a top kind of like this,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I have no idea where the stripes came from.
That's
Oh,
wild.
wow.
Like,
Maybe
did they
you just
try to
had
put,
it
some
like
fake
a little
sunscreen in
thicker
there?
on some places.
It makes me
That's
so
weird.
uncomfortable, like buying anything from Amazon that might harm me.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I would understand. I would be way more weary of that.
Because that was like day one of our trip.
Oh,
Gosh,
yeah, and that can really affect, it
how much
affects
you
how
can
you feel.
enjoy
Like when
the
I get a
trip
really
too.
big burn, I feel like I'm sick too sometimes.
Yeah, I did. Like, and
Yeah.
it just like kind of hurt. Like I just
Mhm.
kind of hurt.
That sucks, man.
Oh, that's awful.
You would think that you could like sue those people or something,
Right, but the thing
or
is, like,
Amazon.
what are you supposed to do? They're probably from like out of the country or something.
Yeah.
So what do you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
I
know.
don't know that you'd be able to sue Amazon.
No, they have
It would
so
cost
many
you a lot of
things in
money.
place to like protect themselves.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
wild, though.
gosh. That
I hope
is
they shut
that's
them
scary.
down at least.
I know. Well, they did. They shut down the store that was like the seller that was selling it.
Yeah,
You can just open another one. Like,
I love shopping on Amazon for
I do
a
too.
ton
I
of
do.
things. And I love shopping on things like Shein and Temu because I like to save money. But I don't think I would probably buy sunblock stuff from Amazon before. I'll be
Right? But
more
now you're
weary
like,
now. But
I didn't even realize
Temu,
that was
things like that, I
possible.
definitely would not buy any kind of thing like that.
Like, I had no idea that was even a thing, that they could possibly like just sell fake sunscreen.
Was it like a name brand?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Really?
Yeah, it was a name brand, came in the right container and everything. Like there was nothing. It did. I will say that I had never used that brand before. Like this was the first time I was trying it because I'd heard people really liked it. And so I didn't really know, but I was like, I like how this goes on. Like it doesn't feel cakey. It doesn't have any of that
Because it was just lotion.
reason. And so but now that I've used it again, I can tell the difference. I could have probably told the difference if I would have been looking for it. Maybe not if I wasn't looking for it, but like, yeah, because now I'm like, oh, okay. Like I can see why that was so comfortable to wear.
I wonder if it was like
Wow.
there was sunblock in it, but not
Right.
like if it was lotion and sunblock,
Yeah, like maybe
it wasn't
like
fully
half and
mixed,
half
and
did or
so
something, so that it was.
that would explain the stripes where some
Yeah.
places you actually got sunblock on you and some places you didn't. That
Yeah.
would make sense.
But I was like,
That
dude, the
is...
stripes, I would rather just be fully burned.
Yeah.
Just give me an even burn.
I would have taken the sunburn.
Your skin says no, not really. You could have had 2 melanomas, so just
right? Like, what
don't
if
say
I
that.
did? It's like just like followed the perfect path of the sunburn. It would be so terrible.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
See, when with the getting the sunburn in Austria, everything else was pretty much covered because
That's good.
it was cold and snowy, and so I had sweater and coat and everything, gloves and all that stuff. So everything was covered except for this.
Yeah. Yep. No, I try to actually be really good about wearing sunscreen on vacations because I know myself, and when I get sunburnt, I get cranky. Like I just know that about myself. And my poor husband is the nicest person in the world. Like, he is so nice. And so I know he's going to put up with it, but I'm like, I don't put up with me. Like, I'm being a brat. Put me in my place. It's just a sunburn.
It's funny though, but when we're traveling, like, you're relaxed, but at the same time you're coming up against so many things that are different that our bodies and our brains and everything just reacts in a way, like, things sometimes feel bigger, or they can either feel like they're not as big of a deal, or they can feel like they're a much bigger deal because you're in an uncomfortable position going somewhere you've never been before anyways. So it's okay to be a little bratty.
But I tried.
I cried yesterday. About nothing.
Yeah.
I had to stop myself because I was just like, there's no reason for me to be crying. We were walking to a park and we were talking about Xander got his first ever bad haircut. Like, bad. Like, they butchered his hair. And I did some cutting to try to fix it, and we actually dyed it yesterday. but before that, I was like, I had bought all this stuff to fix his hair and products to try to make him feel better because he was obviously upset about his hair because he loves his hair, and he had this cool almost afro thing going on with his hair, and they just destroyed it.
You got his haircut in a different country?
Yeah, I mean, we've been
so
traveling a long time. So
I did not get my haircut the entire time I was in Thailand. I did not trust it. And it's not that I don't think they do a good job over there. It's that my hair is you wouldn't guess it because it's like straight a lot in my videos, but it's curly. I have curly hair. And so I was like, they don't have curly hair the same. Right? Like,
I had no clue what to do with curly hair.
So I was like, I'm just not
got curly hair
because I don't want to get it. I don't want it to get botched, and so I just didn't get it cut for a year and a half.
Yeah, Xander.
So basically, exactly what happened to Xander, where they don't know how to handle curly hair, and they shouldn't.
It was so bad. And see, like, I normally take Xander to a salon, like where I get my hair done, and where they're used to dealing with like women's hair. And we went to one, and the guy was like, I only do women's hair, and he recommended this other place for men. And so we're like, okay, went to the place he recommended, and this guy just destroyed his hair, had no clue what he was doing. And we went back to the place, and we showed him what happened because he saw how Xander's hair looked before, and then he got to see the after. And we're like, you should not recommend that place ever again. And he's like, did you want it shorter? We're like, no. Like, I showed him the picture, and he was like, like, the picture for one had the hair down to here. It's a wolf cut. Had the hair down to here. Xander had the hair for it. And the guy, he looks at the picture, and he starts, doing whatever to Xander's hair. And then I asked him if I could go ahead and like pay with a card because we were doing laundry and I was going to go change out the laundry. And apparently their card machine was messed up. So I had to go and get cash. And when I came back, Xander's hair had been cut up to here. And I was just like, and I showed the guy the picture again. And I was like, he was like, oh, well, that one's long. I was like, so was his until you chopped it all off. And then it was like,
wow.
Yeah, it was like, okay, he didn't have any of the layers or anything that he'd given him pretty much a bowl cut,
Oh
you
my
know, where it looked like
God.
you said a bowl on it. And Xander was just like, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And he was just like, and I was like, well, there's supposed to be layers. And I tried to show him, and he started hacking away layers at the front. And we're like, and so I pulled up how to do a wolf cut, and I translated it from English to French, and then he had to translate it to Arabic because he didn't speak French. And and so he read it, he's like, okay. And so he starts cutting, and I'm like, you're not doing it. You're still not doing. And then I showed him a video of how to do it. And so he takes Xander, like the front of Xander's hair, and twists it and starts cutting. And I was like, no. And then he pulls out the back and I'm like, don't twist it.
What is this? But does this person know how to cut hair?
He didn't have a clue what he was doing. And Xander's hair looked just wrecked. And Xander was just like,
you could do better than that. Looking off a YouTube
him.
Video. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
I had a YouTube video for him to see and everything. And he kept he kept skipping ahead in the video. It was a 3-minute video, and he kept skipping ahead. And then he wasn't doing it right. And I was just like, me and Xander both the whole time were going, this is so bad. This is so bad. This is not what.
So how did it end? Like,
it ended so bad.
What'd you say?
That this is not at all what he wanted, and it is so bad.
Oh my God. What the guy say?
It, and they ended up, he charged us €10.
He should have charged you nothing.
I agree. But he only charged €10, but I shouldn't have paid anything. And so I went and I got, some different products and stuff, and I cut his hair a little bit. I fixed like the way it laid so it lays better. He was going to do the split dye again because he had it where it was half black, half white. But he's like, with this hair, the length it is, that would look stupid. And so we got some black hair dye and dyed it all black. And he's getting used to it, but he's so upset. He's like, it took so long to grow his hair out that long, and now it's gone. And he said, I feel like I've got my 12-year-old haircut again.
We're gonna have to take him somewhere in America to like really fix it.
Yeah, but I felt so bad. And then so yesterday, I was feeling really bad because he was still hating his hair. This is before doing the dye, and I was just like, I tried to fix it. And so I was feeling bad, and I started crying. And he was like, I'm sorry for not liking my haircut. And I was like, no, that's fine. I was like, I'm sorry that you're sad. I feel bad that you feel bad.
Oh, poor kid.
Yeah, it was more emotional than I think it probably would have been had this been something that was at home. And it was just part of the normal course of things. But being away from home, and I think it's kind of built up. And
for sure. Yeah.
That's why this whole time that we've been in Brussels, because we're coming back, because of, we had this whole change in our plans. We're going to have a whole week that we come back here after the UK. This little bit of time, we've just been taking it as, let's do regular life things, let's do laundry. Let's actually cook our own food and do that kind of stuff. Go to the grocery store and, not do all the sightseeing and all that stuff, and just try to have like a little bit of normal life. So Xander's been playing a lot of video games and talking with his girlfriend, and
that'll probably regulate you, a bit, to just have those few days to just feel normal.
Yeah. And then, tomorrow we're going to go and we're going to do all the UK stuff. He's actually got a friend that he's going to be hanging out with. I think because I'm not going to have Snicker with me, and Xander's going to be doing his thing. I'm going to go and get all the pampering.
Do
All
spa
the
day.
pampering. Spa day, massage, nails, feet, the whole everything. Just I don't know what all I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna chill and be like, ah. And then we're gonna come back to Brussels and pick back up on all the touristy things. I don't know what touristy things are here, but we're gonna do them.
You can Google.
Eat a lot of Belgian chocolate and
Waffles.
French
Waffles?
fries, waffles. Yeah.
Yes. We've had the waffles. We've had a lot of fries, and we've only had chocolate that's been on other things like on the waffles or whatever. But I need to find some like chocolate.
Like a tour of a place or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a chocolate. Yeah. Like a chocolate.
I'm sure there's something. I got to find a good chocolate place. You deserve a spa day. I do. I got a bunch of chocolate eggs that I got from the last place we stayed.
Nice.
They're like the day that we were leaving, they set out this bowl of chocolate eggs. I'm like, take these with me.
So after this trip is over, you do your transatlantic cruise back to the US. Do you have other big trips for this year?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Honestly, I'm slightly regretting booking so much this year because
You have another cruise, right? That's what you.
I have a lot of stuff. So when we take our transatlantic cruise back, and then the day after we get back, Marty's driving down because we're not going to have a way to get home or anything at that point. Marty's driving down to, I think we're coming into Port Canaveral, and then we're going to make our way down to Miami, and then all of us are getting on a Caribbean cruise. I can't remember if it's a 4 or 5 day Caribbean cruise, and then we're all going home. And then like a week later, Xander and I are going to Tampa and taking another Caribbean cruise.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And then in August, Marty and I are flying to Venice.
Oh,
and
nice.
We're going to spend like a week in Venice. And then we have a cruise, a Greek Isles cruise out of Venice.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And then around the end of, or sometime in September, I think, Xander and I are going to fly back to Italy and spend like, I don't know, a couple weeks or a month somewhere in Italy. And then we're going to get on another transatlantic cruise from Rome back to Florida. And I think we get back to Florida around sometime in November, like the beginning of November. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
It's a lot. And I'm kind of like, I'm even going, I'm regretting even just the couple of Caribbean cruises because when we get back after this transatlantic one, I kind of just want to go home.
Yeah.
But I can't.
It's a lot of work to travel that much.
It's a lot of
it's like,
traveling.
okay, a lot of these cruises are free cruises. And so I was like, well, I got to take full advantage of all these free cruises. But it's also kind of exhausting. And they're not exactly free when you have to fly to get to them.
That's true.
And so like the 2 Caribbean cruises that we're taking when we get back, those were free cruises. The transatlantic cruise from Barcelona, that's a free cruise. The transatlantic cruise from Rome was a free cruise. And the Greek Isles cruise was also a free cruise. The only cruise that I had to pay for was the first one, which was the Mediterranean cruise. The rest have all been free cruises from Carnival or Royal Caribbean.
Wow.
They want me in their casino.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they give me a lot of free cruises, so I'll go into their casino.
Oh, well, I mean, I hope you have fun.
I do. And I'm excited about all the traveling, but it's tiring.
Yeah, I bet.
It's fun. It is a lot of fun, but it's also just like you surprisingly do get to missing home.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. I completely believe that.
Like I miss Marty for one. He's not with us.
Oh, I don't think I could do that long of a trip without my husband. Like, I'm addicted.
Yeah, like
That's cute.
Marty, like he came with us, and he was with us through the like the Mediterranean cruise and the first part of Rome, and then he had to fly home. Even if we were home, I wouldn't see much of him because
This was work, right?
Yeah. So every so often they have these things called an outage. If you don't know, my husband is a nuclear reactor operator.
Oh, that's a cool job.
Yeah, he's Homer Simpson.
I was like, that's like Homer Simpson.
But so they have this outage. Okay, so there's 2 nuclear plants essentially. There's 2 power plants in there, and or 2 reactors, and they have to every now and then shut one of them down and do a lot of repairs and things like that. So they call it an outage. This year they happen to have 2 outages, so because both of them need to be worked on. One's going on right now, and when he's on outage, he works what's called 4-in-1s, and he works 12-hour shifts. And when he's on outage, he only works nights. So he works 4 nights of nights, 12-hour shifts, and then he gets 1 night off. 4 nights of nights, 1 night off, and that lasts for like a month and a half. So
Yeah. Wow.
He's going to be literally on this outage schedule until right before it's time for us to get back. And then the reason why he's not doing the Rome transatlantic with me later is because that's when the second outage is going to be.
Gotcha.
And so Xander is going with me. My mom was going to go with me, but then apparently a church thing is happening at that same time, and she doesn't want to miss the church thing
Oh,
for a once in a lifetime trip for Rome.
I was gonna say I might miss the church thing.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I tried to
Definitely.
tell her, I was like, you could go for part of the church thing. It's a thing called Sukkot, and it's like all the people at this church, they go to pretty much like a campground type thing, and it's like a week-long thing. I was like, well, you could go for like the first half and then fly to Rome, but she didn't want to do that. So she didn't want to miss it. I was like, really? Really? Are you sure?
It'd be really fun.
I'm like,
She got sick on the cruise, the other cruise though, didn't she? The first.
yeah, she did.
So maybe she's like.
Well, no, it was before that. Like,
Okay.
but yeah, I was like, the cruise is free. You don't have to pay for the cruise. You just have to get to Rome. I was like, you don't even have to pay for the Airbnb. You just have to get to Rome.
Oh, that sounds amazing. That'd be so fun though. I mean, I bet you get so much more reading done on those transatlantic ones because you're not going to port.
Right. We do port some. So we, in the beginning of the cruise, we hit a couple places in Spain.
Oh,
We've been out of Barcelona. We hit a couple places in Spain, and then we go to the Canary Islands, and then we have a few days, and then we get to Bermuda, and then we have a few more days, and then we get to Florida. So I don't think there's I can't remember if we go to the Bahamas. I don't think we do. I think it's Bermuda, and then we have like 4 days at sea, and then we're in Port Canaveral.
Yeah, you could get a lot of reading done on those days.
Yeah. Or a lot of editing done. That's pretty much what, like, instead of getting reading done, a lot of what I've been doing on those times when I actually have nothing that I need to do is that's when I've been editing videos.
Yeah.
Originally I was planning on, I had it all scheduled out like, okay, on our travel days, I'm going to be editing while we're on the train. No, that by the time we get on the train, I'm exhausted from getting on the train with all the luggage and storing it and getting everything sorted and getting the dog down. I'm like, and by the time I think, oh, I should be editing, I'm like, well, my bag with my computer is currently up there. And I have to get around these people and get this heavy bag. And there's a dog at my feet. I'll just sit here.
Yeah, I get that.
So I should be reading at that point. I don't know what I end up typically doing. Scrolling on my phone.
Did you end up getting a bingo then?
Do I?
Did you end up getting a bingo for the readathon?
Oh, no, I doubt it. I doubt it. I've read 2 books.
Well, I mean, I only read 4 books and I got a bingo because you can double up books on prompts.
Oh yeah, you can double
That's
up,
how
triple
I got
up,
my
whatever.
bingo, is because you can double up.
I would have to look. Let me see if
I think they were able to make Shadow the Fox work for 8 prompts, is what I heard someone was saying.
Yeah, it works for quite a few. My bingo that I ended up getting, I mean, I might have gotten others. This is just the one that I found, and I'm like, yes, I won. Was the across one that includes the group book. So the self-care day, which I did take after I passed my test because I didn't want to do anything, so I just sat on TikTok all day, and it was lovely.
Perfect.
The
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
What?
How'd your test go?
Good, I passed.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'm so happy. Like, I needed that to be done. It was
Yeah.
just a cloud over my head. So yes, that's done. I'm so excited.
Woohoo.
I did Prom Queen because I read Crescent City 3. Crescent City 3, by the way, covers a lot of prompts. I did the group book. Spring Forward was
Spring Forward. That's like read the next book in a series,
yeah,
right?
and that was Crescent City 3,
Mhm.
and then Love is in the Air, which is Crescent City 3.
Mhm.
Honestly, Crescent City 3 counted for everything. I guess I could have used like the nature of witches for Love is in the Air too if I wanted to, but
Shadow the Fox would work for that too because it was a romance or a friendship.
yeah. Thank you. It's honestly so nice. So I don't know if you know, I don't know if I've seen you in my lives before because I've talked about it before, but I was taking my nurse practitioner exam. So that's what it was.
Really exciting.
A
lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressed.
I am trying to find. Let me find the board so I can look at it.
Did you get one?
I almost have a blackout.
Oh my gosh! Okay, I did not get that. What do you still need?
There's still a day and a half left. So
what do you need? What do you need? Let's figure it out.
I need Spring is in the Air, and I'm reading a really little nonfiction book for it.
Nice. Okay.
And then Flower Power, I'm going to read I Hate Fairyland, the first book for that one. Because there's a flower right here. Look at that flower.
Oh my gosh, there is a flower.
And then I'm partway through Project Hail Mary, and I haven't finished that. I don't know if I'll actually get that one done. But Friendship Bracelets, I think I could actually use Under the Whispering Door for that one. So I might change that to Under the Whispering Door.
Yeah, you could.
So, I'm so close. Just 3.
I honestly was happy with the bingo. I was like, I'll take it.
I was like, I could do a blackout. And then I've had to rearrange quite a few times because I'm like, I'm not going to get to that book. I'm not going to get to nope, that's not going to happen.
Okay, so. I think that I can do this. I think I can get the diagonal where we got spring cleaning. So that's a one that's been collecting dust. So Defy the Night. I read Defy the Night by Bridget Kimmer, and I've had that for quite some time. Spring Fashion is a beautiful book. That book is a beautiful book.
It is.
Also, Shadow the Fox is a beautiful book. The group book works for that. Women's March works for both of them. And then Tiny Umbrellas. I just have to, that's all I have to do is drink my favorite iced beverage.
Have you not had an iced beverage on this trip? You were on a cruise. I feel like all they give you is the iced beverage.
Actually, yeah, I've had a lot of iced beverages. And think of it, I had a lot of pina coladas. Because also on any of the Royal Caribbean ones, I get free drinks as well.
Yeah, I went on a Royal Caribbean cruise before. I've only been on one cruise. That was it. And we got the unlimited drinks package.
It's a lot of drinks.
It was a lot of drinks. Like, honestly, it was too much, because you feel like if it's free, you probably don't care, but if you're paying for it, you feel like obligated to drink as many drinks as this would have cost you. Man, I drank all day.
You're like, please don't make me drink more.
Honestly, it was
I did that.
like, I got home and I'm like, I am so dehydrated.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
When we did, I think it was the transatlantic we did from Amsterdam to New Jersey, where we went to like Iceland and Greenland. I bought the drink package, and if you don't know, a little tip. They don't advertise this, but if you have one person that drinks and one person that doesn't, they say that you have to get the drink package for everybody, but you don't.
Oh, I thought you had to get it for everyone in your stateroom.
They say that, but there is a loophole. If you call them and you say, I drank, this person doesn't, they'll let you get the drink package, and the other person will just get the next one down that's not alcohol.
Oh, that makes
sense. Marty doesn't drink, and so we did that, and so he could get all the specialty coffees and the energy drinks and all the sodas and juices and whatever. He just didn't get any alcohol,
right? And
it was a cheaper thing. But yeah, I started my day with mimosas.
You have to justify it. Like, your head is telling you have to justify this. Honestly, I did the math, and if I ever do a cruise again, I'm just gonna like pay for the drinks individually, because it's cheaper to do it that way. Because I drink when I'm out doing things, like if I'm on vacation or sometimes like out socially, but I don't like really drink much. Like it's not a hobby of mine. But
you don't drink.
Right, I don't drink. So like the amount that I would usually drink, I would be significantly cheaper than that package.
Oh yeah, because those packages are expensive.
They are. They're like, I think it was like $400 or something.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive.
It was like the price of the cruise almost.
Yeah, with the Royal Caribbean ones, because of the status that I am for the casino, I get free drinks anytime I'm in the casino. So I'll just go in the casino and get my drinks on, anytime I want them. So I don't buy any of them.
That makes sense.
And then I'll get like the soda package for Marty, because he likes to drink a lot of soda. But when I'm on the cruise, I'm either drinking like water or whatever punch lemonade thing they have, or the free alcohol.
Go to the casino and get.
I had so much soft serve ice cream when I was there, because they have the little machines. Man, I just would sit up on the deck and just eat it, like in my swimsuit, getting my tan with my book and my pina colada and my ice cream. I'm just like, this is the best. So good.
Marty loves the soft serve. I'll have one every once in a while, but yeah, he has like, he would have, I don't know, 4 or 5 a day.
Yeah, me.
And then there's, I think it was Royal Caribbean. Theirs is not 24 hours anymore.
No, it wasn't, because it was out by the pool area.
Yeah, so they don't have like the soft serve somewhere all day long. It's like cut off at 9 o'clock. Marty was so disappointed because he would like to end his night with pizza followed by soft serve every night. The like midnight pizza and soft serve, but they stopped doing soft serve at like 9.
I like the midnight grilled cheese. Yeah. There was a cruise I was on where it was a while ago though, but they would do like, they'd have the pizza, but then they'd have like grilled cheese at midnight. It was like somebody would be out there making the grilled cheese.
That sounds good.
That does sound good.
This was a long time ago though.
We got a room that was a like inside room. It didn't have a balcony, and I wasn't sure what I would think, because this was our first cruise. We've never been on one before, so I was like, well, why don't we just do this one? Because like, I don't want to spend we don't know if we're even going to like this type of vacationing. And I actually absolutely loved having an interior room, because it was so dark.
Mhm.
Like you could go in there any time of day and it was absolutely
sleep.
dark. You could take a nap. I slept so well on that cruise. Like it was pitch black. I loved it so much. I actually don't think I would do a balcony room just because I loved the dark so much. Even though balconies would be nice, like being able to.
So we typically will get an interior room because for one, it's cheaper. And Marty loves it for that reason because he is a big napper. I don't do a lot of naps, but he loves his naps. And that's like his favorite thing to do on vacation is take naps. And so he loves an interior room for that reason. However, we have found that because we've had some with balconies and whatever. They do like the blackout curtains for the balconies or any of the interior windows. So you can still get that dark effect. It's not as pitch black.
See, I have blackout curtains because I used to work night shift.
Mm-hmm.
And it does get fairly dark, but I love that complete dark. Like I don't know if I've ever slept as good as I slept on that cruise. Like
And as the ship's rocking you to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't get seasick. So that also I liked the rocking. My husband does, so I got him like a scopolamine patch, but
I was curious if like the inner versus the outer, the ones because I haven't stayed in. I think I have stayed in a not a balcony one, but we had a
Ocean
window.
view.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like if you've been on enough of them, do you notice a difference in the rocking on nights where it's rocking pretty heavy? Like, is there a difference when you're out on the? Because I figured the ones next to that would be a little more rocky versus the one in the center.
yeah, I would assume so.
I don't think. Like I haven't noticed a difference as far as that. Like if it's rocking a lot, you're feeling it.
Yeah, no matter what.
Because like you're just walking down the hall, which is between the interior and the ocean view and balcony rooms. You're walking down the halls like zigzag when it's rocking. And so it doesn't matter which side of that hallway you're on, you're feeling that. I've only ever once had a problem with the motion sickness where the rocking really, really got me. And that was when we did our from Australia around New Zealand cruise. Like between them, the waves are ridiculous. And it's the choppiest water. And people say it's probably some of the choppiest water in the world. And those were rough. It was like that they had the puke bags out at the stairwells and stuff, and people were getting hurt and falling over. And I got sick. But they really are great about if you call them and go, I'm motion sick, whatever, they will have somebody come to your room and bring you motion sickness medicine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's like they'll give you a couple of I forget how many pills. You only need like one or two, if it continues. I think you get like 4 of them, and they only charge you like $2. And they bring it to you. So you don't have to like go to their medical or anything. They'll bring it directly to you, and that's fantastic. And those, if you get sick for any reason, like any kind of nausea, the pills that they give you for motion sickness work really great for any kind of nausea.
Oh.
So that's a good tip for
Do
if you ever
make you drowsy though.
No.
Oh, really?
That's nice.
Yeah. I had some, and like when my mom got sick, and it wasn't, we had the flu. We all ended up with the flu. She was nauseous, and I gave her some of those, and it helped. Even though it wasn't because of motion sickness.
Yeah.
It was because of the flu. We all ended up with the flu on that first cruise. That was a fun way to start our trip.
That sucks.
Yeah, not fun.
Yeah, we did. We started this whole travel thing with a couple of Caribbean cruises in the beginning. And the very first cruise, and me, Mom, and Xander all ended up with the flu. And then the next location we went to Cocoa Beach, and we were going to have like fun, relaxing, beachy time before we went on our next cruise. And because we did a cruise out of Jacksonville, that's the one where we got sick. Then a cruise out of Port Canaveral, and then a cruise out of Miami. And the whole time we were in the Port Canaveral area, we were recovering because we were so. And Marty was coming down. He was going to go on that second cruise with us. And he got the Tamiflu stuff before he came down. He was like, because I don't, he didn't want to catch it. Probably by the time he got to us, we were pretty much recovered. But yeah, we spent 3 days where we were just in the hotel dying.
No thanks.
It was not
on your first trip. Yeah, on your first cruise.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it was a good thing that we had those days between, and it wasn't like we had to go immediately get on another cruise. So we had time to recover before getting on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, this is definitely the year of Melanie travel.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm not going anywhere next year at all.
It's hard to resist those free cruises, though.
Yeah, Marty keeps reminding me. He's like, they're not actually free.
It's true. You're like, well,
and
maybe.
see, okay, so we had the Mediterranean cruise, and then I already had this Barcelona cruise to the US booked, and I was like, well, there's only, since we're already over here and it costs so much to fly over here, why don't we just stay? I was like, somehow in my brain, I was like, it'll just be cheaper for us to just stay and travel around Europe than to buy more tickets to go back.
No.
We have spent a lot of money traveling around Europe.
Yes.
Between the Airbnbs and the hotels and all the trains, and yeah, we've spent a lot of money. Heck, just the UK and back spent a lot of money. I could have.
Oh, that's expensive. That just seems ridiculous. But I guess because of Easter weekend, maybe Easter day, that just seems like way too much, though. But yeah. I found that to be true for that. What was it called? What's the you're going on the
Eurostar?
Yeah, when I was looking at the Eurostar prices back when I was, doing Europe and stuff, I ended up not going with Eurostar and figuring out a different way because, sorry, that was really loud. Because I just couldn't believe how expensive Eurostar is.
Yeah, it depends on like the day and the route and that kind of stuff. We did Eurostar going from Amsterdam to here because it really wasn't that much more, but we got a lot more as far as like space and perks and things like that. Like on the regular train, it was going to be an hour longer, which granted, when the Eurostar broke down, it still ended up being the same time. Yeah. But the Eurostar was going to be an hour faster, and it had Wi-Fi and food like was included, and charging ports, and like we were going to be in the first class area, like a lot more room, which is just handy for having the dog and stuff.
Yeah.
And then with the other one, it was going to take longer. There was no food, there was no internet, and all of that. And it was regular. You don't have an assigned seat or anything. Like you don't have a reserved seat. And so we don't want to be standing for 3 hours. And Xander wants to have Wi-Fi, even though he ends up sleeping the entire time on the train anyway. Typically on me, and I'm like, get off. I'm like, you're too heavy on my shoulder, and I can't move. Get off.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll end up with his head down on the table.
Yeah.
But it was more comfortable of a ride for a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
The regular train this time, I don't think there was one. I think the only thing you can take that goes from this area anyway to the UK, because you have to cross the channel and everything, is the Eurostar. Unless you go way out of the way, which I was going to do. we were originally going to, because we were going to take the dog with us until I figured out it was going to mess up all of our paperwork. We were going to go from Brussels to Lille or Lily or something like that, France, and then to Calais, France. And then we were going to take the ferry across into Dover and then take bus or train or whatever. I think train. And I actually bought the tickets for that all the way up to the ferry part until I realized that particular ferry, there's other ferries from different locations, but that particular ferry does not accept walk-ons, and you must have a vehicle. So I'd have to rent a vehicle and then drive it around, like drive in the UK. And I didn't want to do that. And I was like, well, that's not gonna work. If I have to go somewhere, rent a vehicle, and get back to this place in time, it's just, luckily the second part of the trip was more expensive. I was able to get a refund, but the first one, it was only €10. I couldn't get a refund on that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it was only like €5 per person for the Brussels to Lille. So I'm like, it's okay. I just bite the bullet on that. I don't drink alcohol either sometimes, but not on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's how I am too. I'm like a social drinker.
I do the majority of my drinking typically when we have these after-hour live shows.
Yeah,
like once every 3 months.
Were we supposed to drink? I have my coffee. I'm like, it's 1 in the afternoon.
And it's even earlier for Amy. Typically, the after-hours live show is significantly later in the day.
Yes,
but
I could drink then. But I was like, oh,
yeah. I'm not drinking now either. I have soda. I had a cappuccino.
I feel like I need another coffee because I'm just tired.
I know. I need to heat my coffee up because it's got cold.
Yeah,
but it's like typically we're only just now finishing up the author chat.
Yeah,
and,
but it had to be different because of.
Yeah, there was no way I could do the regular time because that would be the after hours live show would typically be in about 4 hours from now, which would be a little after 1 a.m. for me.
Yeah, it would be you'd be a bit tired.
Yeah, I gotta get up early.
I like chatting with Julie. That was fun.
She was really nice.
She was really nice.
What do we think about possibly making that like for the summer? The group book being the third book in the trilogy.
The third book.
So sometime between now and the summer one, read the second book. And for the summer one, read the third book and have her back for that.
Yeah, you could do that.
Because she was talking about, wanting to come back and see our reaction.
I could try to do that.
Because that's not that. That's what 3 months.
Yeah, that would be in June.
And
they're quick reads.
Yeah, they're not hard. And both of them are at my library. That's where I got the first one, was my library.
Yeah, I'm sure I could get both of them in my library. That'd be fun.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on.
Because I definitely want to continue on and find out what's going to happen next.
I know, right?
Especially with Okame and Daisuke. Now that she,
I'm so excited for that. There was like one moment that I was like, I did have a little bit of a in the book. I don't remember what it was. One of them said something or looked at the other one some way, and it kind of gave a tiny hint, but then nothing came of it, and so I didn't think anything more of it. But then now that she says something, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be cute. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think I could make that work. That would be fun because I definitely, like I said, I want to continue on. And then it was fun chatting with her.
I'll write her on Instagram. I don't know if she'll respond through there or not. But I'll also like send a message to her peeps because I had to go through her people to get this all set up. But I'll see if we can set it up so that we do another like author chat with her as the third book. Hello, Xander.
Hey, Xander.
Hello.
I told him about your hair fiasco.
Yeah.
Are you dying?
Sounds annoying.
Let's see. Do I have? Let me show you the coif beforehand. His before. You can't really see his after because it doesn't look exactly. I don't think there's any more picture proof.
You didn't take any picture right after the horror of the initial haircut.
Wait, no, this is after I had fixed it. Never mind. Yeah, I don't think there's a picture of the mess that there was. We did take some and send it to his girlfriend via Snapchat, but those pictures don't stay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see.
Yeah, I remember his hair being like that, at least in the vlogs.
Yeah.
His big poofy hair. Oh my goodness. Me and Snicker with a scooter.
Oh, Snicker.
That's too cute.
Oh my gosh. So Xander was taking this picture. And this woman, we were so offending her. She was the whole time while we're posing and stuff. And Xander's like, what the heck? It's cute. This is cute. It's adorable. Just enjoy the cuteness. But she's all like we were so offending her by doing that.
No dog on scooters.
So pressed.
Don't know if it was the dog on the scooter or that we were posing him or what, but she was just so
Yes, about the character development.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
I love it.
That's gonna be fun.
That is going to be a lot of fun.
We'll have to
And you won't try to kill off Dice Case so quickly.
I know.
Yeah. I was gonna let them both go.
You can go.
I can be pretty hard
with them. Let's finish them
I
up.
like to pick my ones that I'm like, these are the ones I want to keep. So if I keep it pretty small and narrow, I feel like I'm safer.
Don't get your heart broken too bad.
I'm concerned that one of those top three,
I think one of the top two is going.
I think it's
one of those top three are gonna go.
I haven't read it, so I feel like I can guess now without spot. I think it's gonna be Yumeko.
You think she's gonna die?
I think so.
Because Tatsubi's too obvious because of the demon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I could see that. I don't
know. I guess we'll see.
Well, these are predictions, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be the Ronin.
Okame.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be him.
He's fun.
I would be surprised if he went 2.
I think there's gonna be this epic romance between him and Daisuke, and then he's gonna die.
Oh, that would be sad.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what's gonna happen. That's my prediction.
It's gonna be really sad.
And we're all gonna be like, "Oh, Julie."
I like Gold Eyes guy, whatever his name is. I think he's like moving his way up my favorite characters.
Which one?
Gold Eyes guy.
Oh, I know. I think he's fascinating. I'm very curious about Gold Eyes.
Oh,
Mr. Gold Eyes. And he just shows up at all the right times and all the right places.
He knows everything. He's super powerful.
And he's a very attractive, apparently.
Like a phoenix, a dragon. What do we think he is?
Oh, yeah. She said, a dragon.
You think a dragon? That was my first guess.
Maybe he is the dragon.
Yeah. My first guess was a dragon because of the golden eyes, but I was like, it could be like other things too. But.
Yeah, he's fun. I just love how everybody's like, he is so good looking. He's so good looking.
I'm curious
I hope so.
who the master that was in the skull is going to turn out to be.
It's probably someone we don't know. Like, it's probably a bad guy that we don't really know.
I was really, I guess that's spoilery. We're not.
We're in a different chat now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very fascinating. So we'll see. Okay.
Have y'all figured out your TBRs for April?
Yes.
Yeah.
I filmed mine already. I edited it. And that was actually what my live show was in between these two, was I watch it live with my Patreons. Well, not live, obviously I'm not doing it, but like I play it and I'm there watching with them. They're watching and we're kind of like commenting together. And so that's what that was. So it should be going up in the next couple days.
I actually filmed mine between our two live shows.
Oh, nice.
Oh, perfect. I haven't done. I mean, I figured it out, but I haven't filmed anything. I'm behind on it. I'm always behind on everything. So that's just.
Oh, I am so behind on so many things. I feel like the only thing I tend to keep up on is my TBRs. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Because they're my favorite. They're my favorite to film. They're so fun.
They are. They're my favorite to watch.
I enjoy watching all of them.
Yeah. Oh, they're
like,
so fun.
I love doing them, and I think maybe that's why they're fun for other people too. Is because like I have so much fun with them too.
Mm-hmm. Like the energy level super high.
Yeah, my normally I have like so many different things for my TBR, like my Have I Read It and my Wheel of TBR and my Cards Against my TBR. But with the traveling, I'm not doing all of that.
Yeah.
I just have my like little virtual. It's
your spinner wheel.
Wheel of TBR, and
it's hard to travel.
If y'all were able to see that, actually showed the last prompt, but that's fine.
I couldn't read it, but yeah. No, I think that is when I travel, like it's so hard to keep up with anything booktube related. Like when I was living up in Montana for some of my clinicals, it was really hard because one, I didn't have like internet at the place I was staying. And
that makes it really hard.
Like my actual cell service was so bad that you couldn't like use it as a hotspot either. Like I could send text messages, but I couldn't like use TikTok.
Wow.
I remember watching one of your TBRs, I think while you were there, and like you were sitting, there was a fireplace behind you.
Oh, that was when we were down south. So I ended up going to two different places. So I went to Montana for a while, and that one I came back here to film. And then the other one I did actually film down it was in southern Utah in St. George. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you like you had books and stuff and you're like, I brought all these books and I don't know what I'm going to be filming.
I know, that's how it felt. I was like, I have to bring books because I don't know what my game's going to do. But yeah.
Yeah, I just totally, with mine, I was just like, I'm giving up all of the previous stuff for now. I'm not giving myself any punishments if I don't finish anything. And this is what I'm doing.
I think that's totally fair.
And because I read so little, I decided, this month, instead of doing separate wrap up and Wheel of TBR, I combined them. And so I have my wrap up and then my wheel immediately is all in the same video. And, but yeah, this right here is the only way I can do YouTube and travel. So I literally have my entire year of videos.
Wow.
Planned out.
Wing it. I am winging everything.
So all the pink ones are what I film. The blue are my editing, and like these are the videos that post or I'm setting up lives. So like you can see on Monday I had a Rome vlog post. Tuesday I set up the lives for this. Wednesday I started filming Brussels and I edited Florence part 1. Thursday was a book haul video. Saturday is today and I had to film my wheel of TBR. Tomorrow, I start Chesterfield and I edit my wheel of TBR.
Oh my gosh. I don't think you could survive in my world. I'm just like, hey, I have this video. Let's edit it. Like, it's
Like, here's
Me
next
too.
week, the week after. Let's look.
Even when I plan, it just it has to keep getting shifted.
Oh, well,
It doesn't happen on the days.
Yep.
That's why it's on Post-it notes, because I can move the Post-it notes around.
Yeah.
I have tried to plan before and it always falls apart, especially when I was in school. Like, oh my gosh, I was so bad while I was in school.
It's hard. Yeah.
I can pick a random week. Like, here's the end of July, beginning of August. I'll be filming my Have I Read It plus like 3 Have I Read It's.
No.
Wait, no. I've got 2 Have I Read It's. I have a Have I Read It special edition, How Did I Do, and Unhaul. And then I have my special edition, my second special edition, Have I Read It.
This is impressive.
And my wrap-up vlog for that month. I'll also be editing my SeasonAthon Academy announcement and one of the Have I Read It and the wrap-up vlog. And I'll be posting Cards Against My TBR, Wheel of TBR, and the SeasonAthon Academy announcement on those days.
Wow. Yeah, no. I have no idea what I'm going to be filming a TBR that month.
I can even go to the very last day of this thing, and here's all the excess stuff I have. Like, these are all videos that still have to be edited and posted because they'll be filmed prior to, or my coffee vlogs and things like that. So these will all go on to the next year.
I've got a list of videos on the docket. You see, there's no check marks next to them because I just don't get them done.
I don't even have this.
Well, it's not
like,
doing me very much good, just so you know.
The weather. Yep, it's going to be sunny that day. I'll go ahead and film, pop up, film, and I'm like, what should I film today? My TBR? Maybe. Oh, I have enough books. I could do a book haul. Like, it's.
I love it.
See, if I did that, my videos would not be on any kind of schedule and would not come up on time.
Well, neither are mine. Have you seen it? Have you seen my channel? There is no schedule.
I think I had a good schedule for the first year, 2 years, and then
I don't think I ever did. I did post more consistently in the first year, or 2 years. I don't remember, but I never really had a schedule.
Oh my gosh, the first year that I was on, I was probably a good at least 6 months of the first year in the beginning. I posted every day.
Ooh.
Every single day. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to have to cut back because this is really hard.
Weekly.
And then I started posting every other day. And then I switched it to every third day, like 2 days in between that I wouldn't post. And I did that for a good 2 or 3 years. And then I switched to posting 3 times a week. And I just now, for this year, switched it so that it's going to be like twice a week.
I
just all the traveling.
Once this month.
Was it the TBR video?
Yes.
No, it's hard. Like when I see, like, okay, you know, I don't know. Are y'all monetized yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, every time I cut it down, and I'm like, okay, I'm only going to post going from this to this, and you know, less and less I'm posting. So now I'm posting twice a week, and I've just watched my everything plummet drastically.
I can see that.
And that's kind of like so disheartening, and it makes me like go, okay, well, maybe I should go back to posting 3 or 4 times a week. And you know, I got to post all these things that in addition to the things I want to post, and just like, I had a moment during this trip when I was just like, I love these travel vlogs that I'm posting. Like I'm having so much fun filming all the things and showing all the things, and then I edit them and I try to make them look really cool, and then they get like 50 views, and I'm like,
I feel like my vlogs do not get
Same.
nearly the views as other things. Like I don't know. It's weird because there are some people whose entire channels are just vlogs.
I know, right?
Think about Kayla from Books and Lala and some of the other people.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, I feel like my vlogs are always my least viewed.
Yeah, like my vlogs are like typically okay. So like before this year, before I changed things up, my like TBR type videos or have I read it videos, those would get nearly 1,000 views. Whereas my vlogs would get
big difference.
like 200 or 300 views.
Yeah.
And then other bookish things would get, you know, it depended on what kind of video, we'd get somewhere in the middle. Or if it was non-bookish, like a travel vlog or something, it would get significantly less. But I'm doing a lot of travel vlogs right now, so they're getting significantly less. And so all of my views are going down. So my TBR videos and stuff are getting like 300 views, and my travel vlogs are getting like 50 to 100. And I'm just like, I don't want to do this.
It's frustrating too because I'm a primarily vlog channel. Like most of my videos are vlogs, and I've had some vlogs that I've loved so much, and because of the algorithm, because people don't love vlogs as much, they don't get hardly any views. And I'm like, but I did so much work on this, and I love it so much, and it turned out so well. You know, it's just a bummer. Yeah,
those like vlogs and TBR games are probably my favorite videos that I watch. Like that's a big part of what I watch. And
but there are a lot of viewers' least favorite. Not everybody, but a lot of
see, like one of my favorite YouTubers is just a vlog channel. Like she used to do unboxings too, and that's how I found her. But like for the past several years now, she's just been primarily a vlog channel.
There's a lot of channels that are just vlogs, like not even bookish channels, but just channels where all people do is just film their life.
Yeah, that's I watch Mikkel Jancy, and that's the one that's primarily just a vlog channel. And I love watching her videos.
Yeah.
And sometimes the algorithm's just a jerk. Like, let's be honest. Like it just doesn't get you out there, and if people aren't seeing that you're, you know, if they're not seeing your videos come up, they're not as interested, then you're just not getting in front of enough people, then you're just not going to be getting those views. And
the algorithm is currently kicking my ass.
Yeah, I got to a point where I'm like, and I'm just gonna make what I want to make, and it's gonna make me happy. And if it, you know, and I have a core crew of people who love all my vlogs, and so I'm like, okay, my little core group is really, really happy. Then, you know, I don't know. I kind of gave up on the algorithm because it just pissed me off at times. You know, really, it's like it's just me.
Yeah, no, I get it. I actually had that moment during this trip where I was just like, do I really want to keep doing this? Because
that was last year for me.
But then I'm like, well, I definitely want to keep doing the travel vlogs because it works like a diary of sorts. You know, I want these are videos that we can look back on. And honestly, I kick myself for starting my channel when I did. I wish I had started it sooner. I did a stupid. And initially, my channel was not books. My original channel name was not completely Melanie. For those that have been around for a while, my original channel name was Subscription Obsession, and it was just subscription box unboxings. And that only lasted about like 6 months, and then I changed it. But I had discovered BookTube in that time, and it was like, oh, books.
It's addicting.
Yeah. I was like, oh, people actually it started with book hauls. And I actually became known for a while as that book outlet lady.
That's cool, though.
I did a ridiculous amount of book outlet hauls to the point that Book Outlet actually contacted me, and I had all these rewards, and they cut off my rewards and made them 0, and I had to call them, and I was like, what the heck? And they're like, well, we had to check because we weren't sure if this was fraudulent or not, because I had referred more people than anybody else. Like all their book outlet friends and stuff they used to have, Books and Lala, all of them, I referred more than any of them.
That's cool.
And they're like, they said, here is the, like, not including me, here's how many referrals the second place person has. And it's like, here's everybody. And then here are my referrals.
That's awesome. Do you get a lot of free books when you do that?
Yes. Yes. It's changed. It used to, the rewards thing used to not be as good as it is now, where you could only do like a $20 thing at a time. And so I would start doing orders of like $35, so I get the free shipping, and then I'd use $20 in rewards, so I'd only pay $15 for these books. But now you can use up to, I think it's like $200 in rewards now at once, in like certain increments. And so, yeah, I don't pay for any books from Book Outlet anymore because I have so many rewards. because I could only use such a small amount for the longest time. They just kept building up and building up. And I actually was the one that requested to them that they make it where you can use a larger amount.
Well, yeah, if you have them building up like that, it just makes sense.
Yeah, I told them, I was like, there's no way that I'm ever going to be able to use all my rewards. It's just not possible. Yeah. And, but now that they've changed it, I do go through my rewards. But I'll get $200 in books and literally pay like $1 or something.
That's so nice. I love that.
Happy Easter, Terrell. Okay, how do you feel about the Quiet on Set documentary, which exposed the dark side of Nickelodeon? And how do you feel about the decline and downfall of Nickelodeon as a whole?
I have not watched it yet. I've seen it mentioned a little bit on TikTok, especially the stuff surrounding like Drake Bell and his experience on Drake and Josh.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I haven't watched it, so I don't feel like I have enough of a like knowledge about it to really comment on it. But I also actually never really watched Nickelodeon growing up. Like it was never one that I was big into, and so I have no idea. I will say, though, that I really love Nickelodeon's coverage of the Super Bowl. I thought it was highly entertaining and so much fun. And if they're going to be going like that route and trying to pull in people through making the football game really fun, stuff like that, like I definitely support that route that they go. But that one is a lot different than like these shows with child actors where they are being mistreated and abused. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only seen the stuff about a little bit about the whole Drake Bell and all that stuff. But yeah, there's definitely, I would say, a decline and downfall with, Sam, what's her name? I'm glad my mom died.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's her name? I was thinking of her. She's the one who was talking about Nickelodeon and all the issues she had with them.
I was like, between all that stuff, and now just a little bit I've heard from this, it's sad. Because I did watch, a lot of those shows like with my kids and stuff. And, we loved iCarly. And, it's sad to think about what these kids had to go through.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm jaded or what, but I'm not that surprised. unfortunately.
I am definitely not either. And I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more information coming out about these like family bloggers and mommy bloggers and stuff like that who have their pages that are like pretty much exclusively their children. And not all of them, obviously. Like, I'm not saying that all of these are bad, but I do think that as we keep going along and these children are becoming adults, that they're going to be coming out, and they already are. Like, there's already some coming out with this type of stuff, but coming out saying like, this was not a healthy way to live. Now I have all of this on the internet. I can never like get rid of it. Like, this is just out there now.
Yeah. See, I like when it comes to Xander, for example, I try to just like, if he wants to be on, he can be on.
Right.
If he wants to talk, he can talk. Him and Becca both did occasional unboxings with me in the beginning. Yeah. So like Becca, I made a deal with her with we were doing these beauty boxes, and I was like, okay, if you'll come on and do the unboxing with me, I'll get you this subscription. And we did like a glossy box versus boxy charm, and like which one's better.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, cool. And then after she did that for a year with me, and then after that, she was like, okay, I don't really need any more of the stuff. And she didn't want to do the videos anymore.
I also feel like there's a difference between having your kids appear in your videos at times versus having your entire channel be like
your
dependent
kids.
Upon your children.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And see, if your whole channel is dependent on your children, and your child doesn't want to be on the camera, then you don't have, and you respect their wishes, you don't have content.
Well, and some of them, that's a huge income, like the 8 passengers one that's here in Utah. So it's really big. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but at least in Utah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's this family vlogger, and it's come out that she was extremely abusive to her children.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching all the videos, of, like the true crime videos about her.
Yeah, and it's so sad. And the oldest kid, who's now an adult, came out and was like, yes, I've been telling you people this. Why do you think I don't keep in contact with my family? Like, I've been trying to tell you how abusive this is, and y'all aren't listening. Mm-hmm. And now almost like, it's so sad because people, like, they had so many followers. That was their income, and it was making them a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Xander, he did a lot of Owlcrate and like Tinkerbox and those kind of Geek Fuel unboxings, and he was happy to get the boxes and to be in the video. Like, he thought it was cool to be in the video, but most of the time he didn't want to talk, and so people would comment a lot and be like, "Why won't you let him talk? Why won't you let him show the stuff?" And I'm like, because he doesn't want to.
Yeah, and he's a kid, so he gets.
And I'm not gonna force him to, if he wants to be in the video, cool. But they're like, oh, he's sitting there, looks so bored, and I'm like, this is what he wants.
Kid.
If he wants to show it and talk about it, he can. But he was very, he can be very outgoing with certain people, but overall, he's pretty shy, and he's always been pretty shy. And so he didn't really want to talk to the camera, but he was happy to be there. He thought it was really cool him being there. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm on YouTube. But he really didn't want to say anything. And so I would show all the stuff, and I'd talk about the stuff, or I'd have him show the stuff, but I would talk about it, and he would move it around or whatever. And as far as now goes, it's if he wants to be on the camera, he can be on the camera. If he doesn't, he just doesn't. And I'll film the other stuff. Or we had one day where we were, and this vlog's already up, I think, when we were in, I think it was in Rome, and we were going to these thrift stores. And he did this little dance that you don't see in the video when he had like these cool pants that he had found, and he tried them on. And he had, right before I started filming, he had done this funny little dance, and I was like, oh my gosh, do it again. And he was like, no. He was like, that's for your eyes only. That is not for the internet. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Like I've had my niece like make side appearances in a couple of videos, but my sister does not want her to be shown on the internet. I would 100% respect that. And so like you'll see her hand or something popping. She's like she wants to be involved and wants like I played my mini star hop with her one time. We played it together and she really wanted to be involved, but like so you like see her hand rolling the dice and moving the stuff, but like she's not actually in it. She's so cute.
Yeah. Anytime I've ever had anybody in my films, I always ask them, of course. And then like I've had nephews and nieces in my films, but the kid wanted to be in it, and then I asked their parents, is it okay for them to be in it? And like, we talked all about that. So yeah, I always usually try to get everybody's permission, because I've had an aunt who doesn't want to be in any videos, and so whenever I'm filming vlog scenes where family's in it, I try to make sure she's not in it, because not everybody wants to be, and that's great.
Yeah,
I feel like
there's some people I won't ask, at this point, like because
like,
my mom. I don't even have to ask. She just jumps in the video. Marty's parents, they're fine with it. They're used to it. I don't have to ask them.
No, I mean, of course.
But yeah, there's some people, even though they've been in my videos before, I'll still ask them, hey, do you want to be in? And they'll be like, okay. Or if they're like not feeling cute that day, they'll be like, no. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't always ask. It just kind of depends. But like most of the time, I'll ask, hey, you want to be in the video, or is it okay if I, record us? And most of the time, people are like, sure, whatever. But some people are like, no.
Yeah, and that's cool too. It's just.
I feel like when I'm filming out in public, obviously people are going to be in it. That's the way it is. But I do try quite hard to not have children in any of the clips that I actually post. Like sometimes you'll see them, like but like if you can like really see a kid in a post, like I just don't feel comfortable posting that. Cause I'm like, this is someone else's kid. Like I just don't. Plus, I don't really want kids in my video necessarily, just because I don't know the rules around it, and I know there are, and I just don't want to have to learn the rules around it, honestly.
I usually just blur them. Like I'll blur their faces, blur them out. Because like if I'm like in a museum or something and a kid happens to be, so then I'll just blur the kid as much as, like anytime there's kids, because I'm a teacher, so I know that I have to be very careful in general about that. So obviously with school, I can't take a lot of video and there's a lot of teacher vloggers out there, but they're very careful in the way they do it. And so I think I've just gotten so used to knowing that people are very, with kids especially, there's a lot of, you don't want to be the cause of anybody being upset, or your film, your content. You don't want anything to happen to those children. So like, I'm really cautious about that.
Yeah. As far as like being in a public setting, if there's a kid in the background, like walking across or something, I'm probably not going to worry too much about that. But if there's a kid like standing there looking directly towards the camera, I'm probably going to blur the kid's face. And in public, it depends. Like if I'm walking down the street and I'm talking to the camera, I'm not worrying about all the, anybody else around. I'm not going to bother trying to blur people, or if you want to avoid the camera, they can. But like if I'm in a spot where I can put it where I don't have people in the background, I will. But it just kind of depends on each circumstance. Like when we were in Rome in the first vlog, the guy that was driving us around, when we were in the Vatican City, he really was like, he was trying to avoid the camera, and I like went over his head because I could tell he didn't want to be on the camera. So I just kind of went over his head when I was filming, because I was like trying to spin around. You can hear Marty in the background going, I do the same thing. That's why you don't see Marty in the videos often, because he really doesn't want to be in it.
Yeah, you don't really see my husband in my videos almost ever.
Yeah. Every once in a while, Marty will like let me get him in the video, but it's for like short times.
Yeah.
I did convince him to do like we used to do this Taste the World or something like that.
Subscription box. You're doing that, yeah.
And he would do that with me, but he was always Like, he always felt so awkward. Like, all the things that I cut out, he's like either being ridiculously silly, which I wish he would let me keep those parts in, or he was just like, this is so awkward. I don't know how to act.
Yeah.
Okay, Terrell says, what do you think of the cover for the upcoming Better Than the Movies sequel, Nothing Like the Movies? I didn't know there was one.
I think it fits really well. It looks very, very similar to the first one. I feel like if you put them next to each other, you'd be like, yeah, these are definitely in a series. So yeah, I think it fits well with the vibe of the first.
Yeah.
I know nothing about this.
I did too. I Googled it.
Okay.
I'm excited to read that. I liked the first one a lot.
I never read it. I had to Google both of them.
Oh.
Yeah, there's Better Than the Movies.
Yeah.
Yep, I saw your old videos, Mel. Subscription Obsession was the one that showed up on my feed. Oh wow. That's wild. Yeah, because that was only like the first 6 months of my channel, and I've done this for like a long time. Like 6.5 years now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. A long time.
It's going quickly.
I have over 1,000 videos.
Whoa, that's awesome.
What do I have?
Hold on, I'm going to see how many I have.
I know, I'm curious too now. Like, how many do I have? So many TBR videos coming out. I love it.
Oh yeah, it's that time. Search. I'm gonna tickle in my throat.
Oh yeah.
1,189.
Well, one a day, I can understand that. I only have 297.
Yeah, it's a lot of videos.
It's a lot.
Speaking of Nickelodeon, I have the special book rec for you. Can I please suggest The First Date Prophecy by former 90s Nick star Danny Tamborelli and his real life wife, Kate.
Is it a fiction book?
I'm dying. Hold on.
Probably a rom-com.
Oh, nice. And you do look like you're dying.
Danny Tamborelli. I
Tickling my
recognize
throat.
that name. Who's that?
First Date Prophecy. I'm going to look it up.
I'm just sitting here Googling everything on my phone.
I do not know this person. Oh, he looks kind of familiar.
The cover looks cute.
He was
Emily,
The Adventures of Danny and Mike.
See, I never really watched Nickelodeon, so I don't recognize most of these stars that they talk about. Like, obviously, I think like Amanda Bynes, right? She was one that was on there that was really kind of a bad story. But like, so I recognize her, but she also did a lot of other movies too.
Yeah, like She's the Man.
Oh, I loved She's the Man. It was so good with Channing Tatum.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like Amanda Bynes, man, she was probably the first one that I recalled going like way far off on left field, going from cute child star to everything was like tattooed and
well, I mean, when you hear what the type of stuff she went through, like, can you blame the poor girl?
Oh no, not at all.
Well, I hate when these little children come out with these, or well, they're adults now, but like they come with these stories when they're children. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is horrible.
Yep.
Bye.
Have fun.
Have fun with Wyatt.
My little dude is right there, laying on the bed. Dude, this bed, this blanket, I feel like I'm sleeping in a picnic basket.
It kind of looks like there's a picnic basket behind you.
Oh, I like it.
It's thin though.
Huh?
It looks thin.
No, it's not. It's not. It's nice.
Okay.
It's a duvet. Let's see. What does it say? Which of these films from 2004 would you want to watch, rewatch, recommend, or skip?
Okay, so I have seen all of them. So I guess I'll have to have 2 rewatches.
Okay. Watch, rewatch. I've seen all of them too.
Well, you can also recommend for instead of rewatch.
I think you're supposed to pick one for each, though.
Yeah.
I would. Okay, technically, you could say watch. Have you watched the new Mean Girls?
No, it's a musical.
But you could say watch Mean Girls.
The new Mean Girls.
The new Mean Girls.
That's true.
So that's what I would say. Watch the new Mean Girls. I would skip Napoleon Dynamite because I never really got it. I watched it and it was.
I feel like high school me thought it was funny, but now me would probably not. So I'm gonna skip Napoleon Dynamite too.
I would rewatch 13 Going on 30 and recommend The Notebook.
I think, yeah, I'm going to watch and rewatch Mean Girls and 13 Going on 30. Like, those are my watching ones. And The Notebook, I actually did not like it. So I'm going to recommend it to someone who really, I think they would like it.
I enjoyed The Notebook, but 13 Going on 30, even though it's cheesy, I freaking love that movie. And I could watch it over and over again.
They were
I'm definitely
so cute.
I'm gonna recommend 13 Going on 30 because it's so fun. Unpopular opinion, I did not love Mean Girls, so I'm gonna skip that. I know that's everybody loved it, everybody got the humor. It just didn't hit for me.
That's
and I will rewatch Napoleon Dynamite because it's been a while since I've watched that one. And then, I like The Notebook, so I'll watch that.
My husband's over here like, I want to rewatch Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, see, I'm like, gosh, 2004, I was 24. So, God, I'm old. Oh, so
I think my problem with New Mean Girls is I didn't watch it when it was popular. I watched it way later, more recently, for the first time, and then I was like,
you almost need to have the nostalgia.
yeah, maybe that's because the humor stuff, humor changes throughout time, and that humor is different than humor now, I feel. And I just didn't understand. Like, it's not that I didn't understand it. I just didn't. I didn't see the appeal quite the same as other people did. But maybe it's because of that nostalgia aspect of it. Yeah. So I never watched it back then. No. But we can all agree on 13 Going on 30.
Yes.
Yes.
I think with Napoleon Dynamite, it might have seemed more to me because of the age I was when watching it.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, it came out in 2004, so I was 13.
Yeah.
Like, my humor range.
Yeah, I feel like that was probably more to like 13 to 15 was probably more the humor range that, or for a guy.
High school. Yeah, I feel like teenagers. It was
middle school. High school.
I was 21 when Napoleon Dynamite came out, so for me, it hit well.
Yeah, like I think on that and tail end of where it's actually funny.
Yep.
But see, for me, when I was 24, I'd been married for 6 years. I had one kid that was already 4 years old. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Different lifestyle for sure.
Point in life was it was kind of like, that's dumb.
I mean, it was.
But I think Marty, even though Marty's a year older than me, I think he probably enjoyed it way more. Probably because, guys' maturity level, whatever.
I feel like it's also your sense of humor too. Like, I really like the witty, sarcastic, like very clever humor. I like that stuff a lot. And I'm not like, I don't like Will Ferrell humor. I don't like Jim Carrey humor. Like that's those types of humor just isn't my thing. It doesn't hit with me. So
let's see.
okay, what's another one?
Which of these early 2010 sitcoms would you want to watch, binge, recommend, or skip?
I would watch, binge, and recommend New Girl.
I have never seen any of these.
I'm obsessed with New Girl.
Okay, I don't have a clue what Community is. I've heard of Parks and Rec, and I've heard of Modern Family. I love New Girl.
Yeah,
like that's such a fun show. So
I'm curious about Modern Family, so I would watch that one. I would binge New Girl, and so I started watching the first few episodes of Parks and Rec, and I didn't care for it that much, but people have told me you have to get past those first 3 or so episodes, or a few episodes, and then everybody loves Parks and Recs.
Yeah, that's true. I watched the first episode of Parks and Rec and was like, no.
But everybody I've talked to says you have to get past those first few episodes, and then they fall in love with it.
I think I care. The thing is, though, it has that same humor that I don't like. That kind of like almost like, I don't know how to describe it. You know, it's like the dumb humor, right? Where like these people are not like they do really dumb stuff like that type of thing doesn't hit. Like I don't like The Office. I don't like.
Okay, I love The Office. So. And then Community is kind of the same, actually. Community is very similar humor style. And I watched a few episodes of that, and I wasn't that crazy about it.
Binge Modern Family. This sounds like the only one I might like.
I think, well, I've seen a little bit, I think, of Modern Family, enough that I would probably watch it, but I think I would skip Community because I don't have a clue what that is. I'd probably skip Parks and Rec too, based on what you said, and I'd binge rewatch New Girl.
Oh, this is so bad.
That's my nephew. He loves Parks and Rec, but we've already had this conversation, Shell. You know that I couldn't get past the first few episodes of Parks and Rec. Let's just focus on New Girl. Everybody should watch New Girl. It's the most amazing. It's one of them. It's one of the best. One of the better romantic comedies out there. Just watch that. Let's just focus on that.
It is really cute. So, okay, we agree on New Girl and 13 going on 30. Everybody should watch that. I'm recently watching Stranger Things. Have y'all watched Stranger Things?
Yup.
Only through to this part of the second season. I haven't finished it yet.
I finished it, but honestly, they take so long in between seasons that I don't even think I'm gonna watch the final. I just don't care anymore. Like it's been years since that first season came out. Like years. I'm not invested anymore. Plus, I think the first like 2 seasons were peak. I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay. I didn't watch the first few seasons. So I just got in with when Xander was watching recently. And so I'm like, we started on, I think somewhere in season 3 or season 4. And so we're only watching
probably.
Yeah, a little bit in the beginning. He was like, the first few episodes, he had to explain some things. And I was just like, yeah, at some point, maybe I'll watch this, but I need to watch it from the beginning. And then finally he was just like, you want to just watch this with me now? I'm like, sure, whatever. And then I got hooked. And I'm like,
I just feel like the first 3 seasons came out fairly quickly, like normal, right? But then the 4th one, it seemed, right, there's 4 out and there's going to be a 5th. I think that's what it's. But the 4th one took forever. Mm-hmm. And the 5th one is still like they just started to film it not that long ago. Like it is going to take so long for it to come. I just don't care because I'd have to rewatch it and I'm like, ugh. I don't care anymore. It's been way too long. I think that's the problem with a lot of these new streaming shows is they don't put them out like on a yearly basis anymore. They're like, okay, we're going to take 3 years to film a season. I'm like, I'm not going to care in 3 years.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
I don't care by that point.
So, okay, yeah, there's only 4 seasons.
Yeah,
and
they're
there's
filming
going to be a 5th season.
Yeah.
And that'll be the last.
I just don't care. I'm probably not going to watch it.
I started
7
rewatching
years
Brooklyn
ago,
Nine-Nine, so that's my
Planned
current.
out the complete story arc of Stranger Things.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it was really fun, especially like the first couple seasons. I was really, really invested. Yeah, I don't love where it went. Like, it's fine, but it's gotten like way more like over the top. You know how they kind of tend to do those shows, and they just take forever. Like, I mean, how long is it? When was season 1 released? Like, it was so long ago.
Well, it said they started 7 years ago. They planned out the complete story arc for Stranger Things.
Oh,
Um,
really?
the first episode was July 15th, 2016.
Yeah.
Dang.
2016. That was 8 years ago.
Wow.
And they got 4 seasons.
Wow.
And I think they released them pretty quick. Like, season 2 came out in 2017, and then season 3 came out in 2019, and then season 4 came out in 2022.
Oh, you know what, though? That was probably because
probably because of COVID. But I mean, this next one is not going to come out until 2025, and you don't have COVID to blame for that one.
Yeah. Sure. True. But it looked like the first one that only took a year between, the next one they took 2 years between.
And then 3, and now 3.
Was it?
Like 3 years between a TV show season that's like 8 episodes long. Are you kidding me?
Oh, for sure. Especially when they're just that few episodes.
Yeah, I'm like, they used to make 24 episode long seasons, and they would do them every year. Like, y'all are just ridiculous at this point. We're not playing the game with you.
Though they are like long episodes.
They're like an hour.
The one we just watched like last night was an hour and 40 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
Really that long?
Yeah.
I don't
remember. I think the one before that was around an hour and a half.
I do not remember them being that long. I mean, I totally
I have no idea how long the first seasons were because I haven't watched those, but yeah, the ones we're watching now are long. Let's see. I wonder if it says.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now too because I'm like, that's so strange. Okay, so we have season 4 episode lengths. So we have an hour and 16 minutes, hour and 15 minutes, hour and 3 minutes, hour and 17 minutes, hour and 14 minutes, hour and 13 minutes, hour and 38 minutes, and then hour and 25 minutes, and then 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's your problem. Your episodes are longer than movies should be.
Yeah. Wow.
No, I'm sorry. I don't like this new way that they're making things on streaming. Like, it's crazy.
Okay, what are y'all's go-to things that you like to watch?
Friends is my number one. It's like my comfort show.
The Office for me.
I like as far as like streaming reality type shows, I love The Circle.
Oh, I watched the first season of that.
I love that show. It's so much fun. I'm like, I want to be on The Circle.
That's the one where they're on the social media type-esque thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they don't see each other in person, but they just have their like profiles.
Yeah, and so they can be like themselves or they can catfish.
Yeah.
That seems like so much fun. I don't know if I would be myself or if I would catfish. Or if I would do like a combination.
Yeah.
I probably would do some kind of combination, like be myself, but my pictures be like cute somebody.
Steal someone who's actually good at like Instagram pictures. That's how I feel a lot of times where I'm like, I just don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Some little skinny blonde. Maybe I would use my like me from high school. Somebody that's just like, oh, she's so adorable and just looks so sweet and wholesome.
You're like, I mean, it is me, but
That's probably
I love
one
the
of my
Great British Bake Show. That's one of my
oh my
favorites.
gosh, I love that one too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've ever watched that. I've heard of it a lot. Is It Cake? I love Is It Cake.
that's
I've
fun.
seen that. Yeah.
Xander, we're at the tulip fields or this big garden in Amsterdam. And he looks out and there's like this pretty creek thing going through, and there's like this really green grass. And he's like, that is the greenest grass I think I've ever seen. And he pauses for a minute. He's like, I really want to taste it. And I'm like, what? Or I really want to eat it. And I'm like, what?
Well,
He was like, like, is it cake? It kind of doesn't look real.
like Willy Wonka grass.
Exactly. He's like, it looks like it would be good. I'm like, it's so weird.
That's kind of like me though, when when you're near like a really fresh water source and the water is flowing and you can hear it and you can smell the water, and it's just like, I'm like, I really want to drink that water. And I'm sure it's not going to be the most amazing thing I've ever, but like my body, I have a visceral reaction where I'm like, oh, I got to drink that water. It smells so good. That's kind of weird.
Well,
It was
it's
like-
less weird than wanting to eat grass, so I'll give that to you.
Mine's survival.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's like it looks like gummy grass or something. I can't remember what I was thinking. I think I said, are you high?
Maybe that could be it.
That could have been it.
You are in Amsterdam.
Not a bad guess.
We're in Amsterdam.
All right. Which of these popular thriller authors would you want to auto-buy, read, recommend, or unhaul?
I've never read any of them, so I don't think I can participate.
I've read a lot of Riley Sager. Only one Karen M. McManus. I will be reading Holly Jackson soon. No Lisa Jules.
So
I read fantasy.
I've read a little bit of Riley Sager and enjoyed it. I've been hit or miss with Karen M. McManus. Holly Jackson, I don't know. So her first series, what is it? How to Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
Girl's Guide to Murder.
I've heard amazing things about that series, and I bought it. I'm excited to read it. And then I pre-ordered 5 Survive.
I heard that was terrible.
Read that right away and hated it. And felt like I wasted my money on it, and it was a terrible book. And then I was like, well, crap, I hope that I'm going to like the other books. But I've heard that book was just not good.
Right.
So I'm still holding out hope for Holly Jackson, but I don't know.
Yeah, my read-along group is doing
some of her that I've really liked. Oh, auto buy.
I don't think I've ever been interested in Lisa Jewell even. I mean, I know that her books are really popular, but I just haven't, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would probably auto buy her. Ooh, read Riley Sager. Recommend Holly Jackson and unhaul Karen M. McManus. I don't know. It's been hit or miss with her. I've really liked some and I've really not. Do y'all have anything?
I've never read
Auto-buy,
any of them.
read, and recommend Riley Sager.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never read any of them, so I shouldn't. I've watched that 70s show, but other than that, I haven't watched any of these.
Happy Days.
I've watched Happy Days a bit, but a long time ago.
It's an old show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what the Goldbergs are.
I don't even know what Everyone Hates Chris or the Goldbergs are.
I don't
Chris
know
is
what-
like a spin-off of something, right?
No, it's oh gosh, what's his name?
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Yeah, so it's apparently like about his life and stuff.
When he was a kid, though, right? Like, isn't he a kid in
Yeah.
that one?
But Chris Rock does the voice over, like the narrator voice for it. That's a hard one.
I don't know any. I know nothing. Wow, I'm so uncultured. Apparently,
I would watch Everybody Hates Chris. I would
is the
binge
Goldbergs?
that 70s show. Recommend Happy Days and skip the Goldbergs.
I'd probably watch Happy Days just because I feel like it's referenced in pop culture sometimes. So
It is, for sure. What is the Goldbergs? It's an American sitcom with these people.
Okay.
Huh.
I know who those people are.
Oh, I recognize the guy on the left upper top, but not from that, but from other things.
Right.
Let's see. In honor of Just for the Summer coming out next week, what's your favorite Abby Jimenez book?
I've read yours truly, and I quite enjoyed it. There is a trope, I guess you could call it a trope, or like a plot choice that she used that I don't like in books. But I liked her writing style. I liked the way the romance was developed and the characters and stuff. So yeah, that one.
I've heard really good things about her books, and I own some now, but I haven't read any of them.
I haven't read either. I haven't read them either yet.
Though I'm sure it's going to be like another very popular book, because I think Part of Your World is the one I've heard the most about.
I think I just did that in my book call, Part of Your World, I think.
I think that's the one that's been like the most popular. Hello, Snickerdoodle.
Yeah, that's one I heard. I've heard people review the most, but I've heard people really like Abby Jimenez's books in general. Like,
yeah, I could definitely see that because I really enjoyed the book. I just didn't like that plot device that was used. I don't like it in any book. So,
okay,
yeah, I have some like that too. Like I don't like the cheating.
I know
thing. I hate that trope.
Me too.
Now I don't mind if there's like a misunderstanding of like, oh, you think somebody, but like that the actual they definitely cheated kind of thing. I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't like the miscommunication trope, honestly, especially when the miscommunication is because they just are really bad at communicating or they refuse to communicate. I hate that. Like if there's like a legit kind of miscommunication, I can live with that a little bit better. But when it's because these grown adults just can't communicate with each other, don't like that.
I start going like, ugh.
Yeah, you're like, you are an adult. Like, we're not reading a YA book here. Like we can express our feelings. We can talk.
Most time it's like, just say something, say anything. You're not saying anything, and it just drives me nuts. I go,
and you're in their head, and they're like assuming things, and you're like, please stop. Like, what are you even doing? Like, your assumptions are insane.
Yeah,
I get some people like, well, if you have anxiety, so it's like I have anxiety, but I'm like, you still have to communicate. You are an adult here. We're not.
I think if it's a YA book, that's much more acceptable.
Yeah, like if you're a 16-year-old. So different.
Right.
But once you're like an adult, like I don't know. I find it pulls me out of the romance. Like I don't care about the romance anymore when that happens. When they have these miscommunications, because I'm like, you just drive me.
That's my nephew.
Oh, okay. I was like,
why are they disowning you?
Because of Parks and Recs and Community.
I was like, what did you do?
apparently Shell went and told her son.
No.
Yeah. Thanks, Nathaniel. I'll survive.
Okay. Well, I need to take off. I have an appointment that I have to get to.
I was gonna say I've got to start getting heading out too. So
super fun.
And it's like almost 10:30 at night.
You guys a little bit better.
This was a lot of fun.
I'm so glad that y'all joined, and I hope that you will both join me again in the future for another round of SeasonAthon, where hopefully I'll be in the country and can,
Make it a little bit easier.
be a little easier, and I can like do more things.
Mhm.
But thank you so much for participating and hosting, and for everybody that joined in. Thank you all, and you've got another day to continue. So good luck finishing and getting your bingos
Your
and
blackout.
your
Mhm. Yep.
blackout.
So close. So
Blackout.
close.
You got this. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or night or morning or whatever. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye.